Fans of the hit anime Solo Leveling were hit with some pretty bad news that suggested that anime's third season would be delayed until 2028. And like fans of the show, of which I am one, I also joined in on the collective scream in terror. However, it seems that maybe people have jumped the gun on a 3 year delay.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. Don't forget to check out my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge fan of the manhwa, which is a Korean comic book. It is called Solo Leveling. Now, originally, it appeared as a webtoon, and even before that, it was what is known in Asia as a light novel, what we would call a novella. And it is hugely popular all over Asia. And then when it had its release in the United States, fans also like it here, obviously. And the announcement of an anime, which debuted a couple of years ago, that also brought in more excitement. Even though the first teaser trailer was pretty terrible, the next full trailer and also the show itself is really well made. It has incredible animation, just like the manhwa has incredible artwork. So, season one was a huge hit. It captured the first arc of the book series, and likewise, the second season followed on in the second arc. Season 3 has been announced, but some comments from the series producer caused some consternation when it seemed that he was saying that the third season would be delayed for over 3 years until 2028. Now, I'm going to quote what he said directly, and obviously, this is a translation. Series producer Sota Furuhashi, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, he was on another YouTube channel where he did this interview and he was asked about the show. This is the comment that sent fans spiraling. I think that's the toughest question I've had tonight. I think more than anyone, I am anxiously awaiting a season 3. But in truth, between seasons 1 and season 2, 220,000 frames of animation were created. And of course, I'd love to give the animators a little breathing room. So if it were up for me, I'd say let's wait until the next Olympics to see what's going to happen with a season 3. But to get to that 220,001 frame of animation, I think that's up more to Kaneko-san and A1 Pictures. That's the animation studio behind it. So if you're wondering which particular comment caused the consternation, it was when he said, let's wait till the next Olympics. Now, a few people were assuming that he meant the main Olympics, the ones that happen, every 4 years. And the next upcoming one is in Los Angeles, California, which is in 2028. And that is what is making people panic, is this idea that we're going to have to wait almost 3 years, perhaps even over 3 years, to get a third season of the show. Now, I am glad, though, that A1 Pictures is taking the health of their animators very seriously. Mappa, which is another anime studio, they have been frequently criticized for overworking their animators, hence why the animation for Jujutsu Kaisen wasn't exactly up to snuff. So I'm glad for that, but does it really need a longer delay? Now, a few people have pointed out that the series director, he's also been tapped to do another anime in the Fate series. So that could be another issue, is they're looking for a new director. I decided to ask Gemini just for giggles why the soloing anime got delayed. It actually brought up a lot more than what mainstream media outlets were saying. So it said creator availability. Crunchyroll CEO Rahul Purini has stated that the series creators are busy with multiple projects and the anime industry is experiencing high demand, making it difficult to find the right time to start production on season 3. And then also it suggests the director's availability. While Nakashige Shunsuke is currently the director, his availability could be a factor as he may be working on other products. And also it adds that they're might be looking for a new director because of that. However, most people agree a third season will happen. For one thing, the anime is intensely popular, as is the manhwa. Not to mention, where they left off on the story arc, there's plenty more right after that. And Solo Leveling even has a sequel series, I believe, called Solo Leveling Ragnarok. So there's plenty of room for them to finagle new story arcs for episodes. Now, earlier I hinted that maybe the 2028 theory is incorrect because he did say the Olympics. However, a lot of people are discounting that there are the Winter Olympics, which are going to take place in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 2026. So I think that's what he was actually referring to is the Olympics in Rio, that he is saying we're going to wait until after those Olympics. And if that is the case, that would still be a bummer because we would still have to wait over a year for a third season, but at least it's a lot sooner. Now, this is just me speculating. Maybe he did mean the Olympics in 2028, but don't forget, in America, Olympics, we don't really care about them until they're happening or if Americans are winning. That's kind of the general vibe that I get. The Olympics are huge internationally. They are big. They are all over everyone's TV screens whenever it goes live. So it is quite possible that he was meaning those Olympics in 2026. And I think that would be the case. If that is what is happening, then I would speculate that we're actually looking at a late 2026 release for a third season, or possibly spring of 2027 at the latest. And again, this is me speculating, kind of looking on the bright side. I hope that we do get it a little bit sooner. One thing about these animation studios, they do listen to the fans. So if us as Solo Leveling fans, if we want it even sooner, then we got to demand it from A1 Pictures. We've got to be emailing them and whatnot. Don't bother anyone. Don't bother the animators. Don't stalk them. Don't do anything like that. But if you want it, respond to them on their social media, on their YouTube channels, all over, and saying, hey, we would like to see the third season of Solo Leveling sooner. Can you help the fans out? Unlike here in Hollywood or just in the entertainment industry in the West in general, typically in other markets outside of the United States and Europe, they actually listen to their fans and appreciate them and work with them, sometimes a little too much. I know K-pop artists would argue that, but still, if you would like to see a new season of Solo Leveling faster, then that would be the way, is to just say, hey, we would like to see this. I think that would work out. And it is true, thanks to the unconstitutional lockdowns that happened because of an unverified virus that we don't know its origin, anime shot up in popularity, and we saw people watching older ones, newer ones, and so it's in high demand across the world. There is a lot that is being pumped out. Sometimes I do wish that they would pump the brakes on some of the lesser known ones. Like, to me, they're overdoing isekais a little bit. What made isekais so special was this idea that you could go into this other world and you could be successful and you weren't successful in your other life. But I also think that they're overdoing that genre just a little bit. I would like to see them do like more science fiction animes, more straight fantasy ones, because those genres are kind of being neglected. And yes, I know isekai can be a form of sci-fi or fantasy. I'm just saying I would like more stories that rely specifically on those genres. I would like to see that. That is just my opinion. And granted, I have a very narrow focus on anime because there's some that I avoid because I don't think anyone should be watching them. But that, again, that's just my own personal preference. So tell me what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think we'll get to see Solo Leveling sooner, that it's actually 2026, 2027, and not all the way past the Olympics in 2028? I would love to hear your thoughts. And are you a fan of Solo Leveling? Do you like the manhwa, the light novels, the webtoon, or the anime? Please let me know. But for now, while we are waiting for season 3, maybe it's a good idea to catch up on all those other entries so we can be prepared when the third season actually does arrive from A1 Pictures. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked that video, give it a like, share it out to all your friends. As I said, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post new vidcasts, and consider becoming a channel member. That is a great way to support me and the work that I do. You can also support me by heading on over to my website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where you can read most of my articles for free, or you can sign up and get a paid subscription where you will unlock new perks. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. If you would like some new books for your reading list, check out mine. I've got Cacophony, A Tale of Faith and Fear, which is a supernatural thriller about angels and demons warring over the souls of a small Texas town. You're not going to want to miss this one, especially if you are into the supernatural or the paranormal. I think you're going to have a good time. If fairy tales are more your speed, check out my series, The Seven Royals. Book 1 is All Good Things, Book 2 is Breaking the Stars. It follows a group of your favorite fairy tale characters who have to come together to defeat a dark army of orcs, werewolves, giant lizards, and evil mages that is coming to destroy their kingdoms. It is so cool. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's got magic swords and dragons and so much other stuff. Book 3 is on its way. I will not George R.R. Martin this. Last but certainly not least is my latest fantasy novella, Blessed Child. It follows an elf princess who discovers she is pregnant with a human baby. This makes the elves in her kingdom pretty angry. They don't want to be ruled by a human. So her father, the king of the elves, hires a disgraced knight who is on the path of redemption to be her bodyguard, and the two form an unlikely friendship. It is about courage under fire. It is life affirming, and I guarantee you are going to love it. So pick up this one or all four at Amazon.com. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. And if you want even more of my works, head on over to studiojakemedia.locals.com. That is where I publish my poems and short stories. So you can check those out. I really think you'll like those as well. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.